Hello, and welcome to I'll Knit With You. My name is Rebecca, also known as Evil Twin 2. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Evil Twin 2. You can find our Ravelry group called I Will Knit With You on, well, Ravelry. If you need to email me, you can email me at owlknitwithyou@gmail.com or visit the blog at owlknitwithyou.blogspot.com. Hello, everyone. It is Saturday night at about midnight, and I want to welcome you to the first I'll Knit With You pajama party. So put on your PJs, or if you're watching this at work, maybe don't, because you know, that'd be weird. But I've been talking for a little bit about wanting to scoot more towards Saturdays, and I'm trying to figure out what works best. So in the daytime I use sunlight, and at night I've got like my room lamp on and a couple of smaller lamps too. So we'll see if lighting is good enough for knitting stuff. I don't know. But let me just say this. We have reached over 50 members. Last time I checked we were like 70, what do we got here? 72. Which means we are pulling for a prize today, and we're only 30 away from 100, and I'll probably give out another prize then. Oh my goodness. So I was all last week like, I'm reading too many names at the beginning of the show. I was like, maybe introduce yourselves. I don't want to say so many names. You guys, my list is twice as long this week. What? Okay, so let's go through our new friends. And also, can I say, like, you people in the group who are being like talkative and like chatting with me about stuff, A+. I'm gonna get to more of that in just a second. So first off, we have, and these are in, so when I look at the group and I respond to a new person talking, I immediately write down their username, their name, and what the country or state that they're from. If they're in the US, I do states. Because that's where I'm from, so I understand the state, you know, stuff a little bit better. So like these are in order in which I answered them, basically. We have Angie. I think it's Angie or Angel. I'm not sure if I put a 1 or an L there. Either 1971 or L971, who is Angelica from Austria. Trish C, who is Pat from Canada. Mom of Aussie Kids, who is Naomi from Australia. Grammy Knitter Bug, who is Karen from Colorado. Pattern Whisperer, who is Jerry from Texas. Not Knitting, who is Diana from Canada. Saratoga Knitting, who is Lisa from New York. Crafty Cavi, who is Heather from Indiana. Christy Rose, who is Christy from Louisiana. Crazy Kiara, who is Kiara from Canada. Lots of Canadians this week. This week. I approve. More Canadians, please. Phoenix Fire, who is Tracy from North Carolina. Kristen9312, who is Kristen from Virginia. SP Bardwell, who is Stephanie from North Carolina. Jojo B0304, who is Joanne from New York. Bella Leah, who is Amber from Florida. Geiger Counter, who is Carrie from Canada. Yellow Birds Knit, who is Stacy from Missouri. Seminary Girl, who is Cynthia from I think that's Michigan. Sorry. Bab Not on a Diet is Brooke from Illinois. Wow Skunk is Cindy from New York. Perfect Circle is Michelle from the UK. Freeman is Colette from Illinois. Angel Mum or Angle Mum, I wrote it down probably wrong. I think it's Angel Mum 3, who is Sandy from Illinois. Julesy, who is Julia from New Jersey. And Olive Hope, who is Olive from Canada. So here they are. And I've been trying to come up with segment names for stuff, so I called this New Fronds, like palm fronds. New Fronds. Also, if you ever want to tag something that we're doing together, it's hashtag owl cowl, right? Owl cowl. So last week I told you guys about my bullet journal, but then I was not able to show you my bullet journal because I had, for the one time that I did, left it at work. So here is my bullet journal. Keep calm and have a cupcake. And I'm not super far yet, but I'm having a good time, you know, filling out pages. I like writing stuff down in pen. I try and find 0.5mm pens. Those are my favorites. They're so tiny. So that's been a lot of fun. I've been having so much fun with it that I went ahead and bought 4 new fake Moleskines. These are not real Moleskines because those are way expensive. And look, this one has bees on it. And this one says, "Roses are red, violets are blue, honey is sweet and so are you." You know, they're just cute and they're fun. So I'm looking forward to using those for bullet journaling. A lot of people have been asking where my username EvilTwin2 came from, and asking if I'm actually a twin or if there's an Evil Twin 1 or a good twin 1. So the story goes, when I was in 5th grade, I had actually done a lot of dancing up until 5th grade, which sounds weird for such a young kid, but I did like ballet, and then I moved and there wasn't ballet in my new town. So I did like pop dancing, which is really weird when you're a kid because I felt like those are moves adults should be doing and not little children. But it is basically like cheerleaders in training. I didn't know that though, because when we moved to the new town, we're just like, dance studio, right? So I ended up disbanding from that group of friends. That wasn't really my crowd. I'm way nerdier than that. Even as a kid, I knew it. So I didn't have a lot of friends for a year, and then then my friend Lydia found me. We were standing together in the PE line about to shoot some hoops, because you had to everyone was shooting a hoop. So we stood in the line and took turns. And while we were standing there, she taught me how to do the handshake from, what's it called? From a Parent Trap. And it's like this lengthy, in-depth, lots of twirling handshake thing. And we've literally been friends ever since. She's my best friend. She is Evil Twin 1. We are not twins. When we were kids, we looked a lot like each other. And my babysitter actually called herself and her friend Evil Twin 1 and 2, and I totally stole that. So, and I was like, well, I want to be Evil Twin 2, because you know, you're older than me. So it worked out. And so that's why I'm Evil Twin 2, because my best friend, who lives north of me, my printer is making some serious noises over there. My friend who lives north of me is Evil Twin 1. So, and I'm really hoping to get her as a star co-host sometime. But she might be moving, she is moving to Texas soon, so we don't know if that's gonna work out. So that is what's going on there. Speaking of friends who knit, I had told you guys I would definitely be going to Iowa Sheep and Wool. That is still on. I might be going to YarnCon. That's less likely now, because I'm pretty sure, like 85% sure, that I'm going to be going to Stitches Midwest in August. And I have put all of that, so I moved my whiteboard from the tripod legs to the table area over here, and I'm totally distracted. So I'm hoping to nail down those plans, and I'm really hoping to make it for the PJ party at Stitches Midwest in August, near Chicago. So I'm super excited about that. So yeah, if you guys are going to be going, let me know. I've added those events to the main page of the group, so it says like events I would be attending, and it has them listed as like maybe and like definitely and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to going to my first fiber festivals this summer. I'm so excited. There was something I forgot to tell you guys last week. I have reached over a mile of knitting for this year already. What? So I have a pretty loose goal of knitting a marathon, which is 26.5 miles or 0.3 or something like that. Pretty sure I'm not going to make it, but I'm going to see how far I can get. So I've been diligently logging everything, even Hex Puffs, into knitmeter.com. And if you go into my profile page, you'll see how far I've knit and how far I've spun this year in miles, not in yards. So I'm looking forward to boosting that number a lot. A lot. And I wanted to thank, so I was talking earlier about people who are being talkative in the group and how much I appreciate that. I wanted to give an extra shout out to Pattern Whisperer, who told me ever so sweetly, hey, maybe Noro isn't the best yarn to make socks with. It's single ply and it has a lot of cotton. And I was like, yeah, those things are both true. So you guys, I'm new to the real fibers, the non-acrylic fibers world. And if you see something that you're just like, it's egregious, and you know that my sweater's gonna be ruined because I'm doing something horrendously awful, and I'm not very far along yet, because if I'm very far along, I'm gonna do it, because I'm stubborn. Feel free to like, be like, that's not the best idea. That's not how you do that. And the same with spinning, because I'm definitely learning a lot of stuff. And, you know, I'm not, and if you want to be nice about it, I appreciate that. Don't be mean to me. That doesn't make me feel very nice. No one's been mean yet, so don't be the first one. Don't be the first one. Speaking of spinning, I have been spinning quite a bit. So, as I was spinning, I've been having a lot of breaks lately, and I'm still trying to figure out like what is the best drive for me. So I have this smaller one for my Kiwi 2, with a different drive band, and I also have a bigger one for my Kiwi 2, and I don't know what the difference is in the drive bands. I just know that one is for one and one is for the other. So this is supposed to be the faster one, and I thought I had read somewhere like the faster it is, the thinner your yarn should be able to be. And oh, I just dropped it. So I've been using the smaller one, and I have no idea on the ratio of these. If anyone else has a Kiwi 2 from Ashford and you want to tell me this information, I would not be at all insulted. So I've been using the smaller one, which might be a 12, but I recently switched to the 11, or the bigger one, which might be an 11. Not sure on the ratios on that. And I'm having a lot less breaks with this one. So I need to get a bunch of good books on spinning. I just need to understand it better. And right now I'm definitely still in the learning process. And I've made some stuff that I've knit with and it works fine. It's just like, I'm trying to figure it all out by myself and watching YouTube videos. So anyway, here is some yarn that I have recently spun. If these colors look familiar, if these colors look familiar, they are the same ones that are used in the podcast picture. If you watch the very beginning, you might remember me showing off my Merida, what I call my Merida Merino. It's just a merino. It's not named Merida Merino. I call it that because it looks like the Brave colors to me, like Disney's Brave. And I knit a hat with it, and then realized that I had misplaced about 30 grams of it and hadn't actually spun all of it. So now I'm going back and I'm finishing that up because I am spinning all of my stuff from oldest to newest, so that way it doesn't get old or matted in a stash like, ugh, I really need to spin that, but I'd rather spin this new stuff. I'm trying to prevent that. So I am working my way on that. I still have about several yards of thick roving left, so it's not going to be done anytime soon. But I'm having a lot of fun spinning. And then, oh, here it is. Okay. I knit this sock for my boyfriend. It's just cheap Red Heart acrylic, and I think the amethyst colorway. And I did not grab the book for it, but it's in a book that looks like a sock. And so it's called Knit Socks, and it looks like a sock. Right? Am I right? It's so cute. So Knit Socks is not like the most intricate socks. It's very much like learn how to sock. And for you out there who are doing the sock knitting along, the loosely sock knitting along, if you want to use hashtag #alcal, be my guest. Maybe I will too. Actually, I probably should. If you're doing that, Knit Picks puts out a podcast, an audio podcast, and they just did one that was very much like all the parts of a sock and just like talking about like stitch numbers and how many you should have and needle sizes and all of that. And I found it really informative and really good. If you are a new sock knitter, that might be something you definitely want to check out. So I've been making the knit socks, and I'm using size, so I'm on an Aran yarn, and I'm using size 5 needles, which is a little bit small for that, obviously, but I made it that way with the first house sock, and so it turned out really well, and it fits him really nicely. See, here's the thing. When I was shooting during the daytime, I was getting a really weird, like, light situation where I was getting light from this direction, but not from this direction, so my knits wouldn't light up. But now look, you can see all of that. Yay! So this was my first house sock for him, and I am working on the second one. It is Cuff Down. Sorry, it's attached to a giant ball of yarn. So I'm not very far yet, but I have turned the heel. So that is awesome. I am continuing my quest to finish all of my socks before starting new socks. This one can't travel with me, however, because it's from a 1 pound ball and there's still quite a bit left, and this does not fit in my purse. So I needed some new purse knitting. Oh wait, you might be saying, Rebecca, don't you have a blue pair of socks you were supposed to be working on? I used to, but now they are finished. Now I am knocking things over and they are finished, and they don't even match a little bit. So this was my first sock from 2010. It's lighter in color, the stitches are a little bit more pressed down, it's been machine washed several times, and definitely has been in the dryer a lot. It was actually way too small, I couldn't get it on my foot, even after I had freshly knit it. So I've been soaking it and blocking it, because that was not a thing I used to do, and now I do it. And this is the new sock, which I knit on 2s instead of 1s, so it would fit. And the stitches are much more raised. The overall color is a lot darker. So I call these socks, they are cousins. They aren't sisters, they are definitely not twins, they're not even brother and sister, but they're loosely related, they're cousins. So that is super fun. So because I knit my second sock, and I had yarn left over, I knit a matching Hexy Puff. And it's so cute. I'm Puffer. Okay, I threw my Hexy Puff. But it's okay, it's just fluff. I made a couple other Hexy Puffs this week. I had showed you my fat fiber box, and I have knit 2 things, Hex Puff wise, from that box. I had spun up a back called Fluorite, and I have now knit that into the cutest little Hexy Puff. And it's got a lot of gold in it, so you can see it shimmering. Shimmer, shimmer, shimmer. And then I had also knit up Heisenberg's Finest, which is you know, fan based off Breaking Bad. So this is that one. Also shimmery. This is like the shimmery Hexy Puff day. Yay, shimmery Hexy Puffs. So let me tell you a story about Hexy Puffs. I recently saw someone on the Instagrams who was like, hey, I have lost my knitting mojo. Does anyone know how to find it? So I started knitting Hexy Puffs between every project to kind of like give me that boost of, I finished another thing, and even though it doesn't look like there's more things done on my projects page, I'm still getting more things made. And it feels pretty amazing to bind off. Bloop, 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 bloop. Hexy Puff. Or shall I say to you, you've been Hexy Puffed. It's a little glimmer of knitting mojo. And because I've become such a fan of knitting Hexy Puffs, I bought myself this super cute camera bag. Super cute camera bag. Lots of antique cameras on it. And it is just big enough to hold my size 4 DPNs, which is the size that you use for Hexy Puffs, even though it seems really big for sock yarn. Trust me, they turn out great. And a room for a bunch of little mini skeins. Also, if you're a Hexy Puff knitter, you get to knit mini skeins up. This definitely fits in my purse. Right now I have, oh my goodness, I have like 4 full mini skeins. I have a lot left over from Fluorite and a little bit left over from Heisenberg's Finest. But all of these are from my Fat Fiber box. Because they're, oh no, most of these are from my Fat Fiber box. Just waiting to be knit up into some lovely little Hexy Puff. And then of course there's my little Wonder Woman mini skein that I've made myself, which is like the best spinning. I should spin them on my drop spindle. I can get that really fine. So I knit those 2 socks. I've got the purple one in the works, but the purple one can't travel with me, so I guess I had to go ahead and start my fresh pair of socks. So in the bag that I won from Geeky Girls Knit, fantastic podcast you should go watch right after this one, I have my Patton's Croy. So I had 2 balls of Patton's Croy, and I tried to get them to match so that when I started the toes they would be in the same spot, but it wasn't happening, and so I eventually just gave up. And I was like, you know what? None of my other socks match. The socks that I wear on a day-to-day basis that are store-bought socks, I don't wear matching socks that way either. So why should all my socks match? That is ridiculous. So I spun the two balls together. So it's kind of hard to tell what's going to happen next because all of it is in one giant awesome. But here's the colorway. You can see it's grays and a dark gray and a dark brown and a red. And here are where my socks are at so far. So I'm doing, the pattern is called, something's breaking in my house, toe up with a difference. And I did do a little bit of alterating to the pattern already because I do know how I like the toes of my socks to fit. I have very short, very wide feet, so I kind of have to make some adjustments for that. And I have really wide legs, which is why I knit my clandestine second sock on a 2, and why my first one didn't fit on a 1. So I might knit sections of my leg on a 2, but I haven't really figured that all out yet. And this one's going to be more try on as you go as opposed to a cuff down sock. So here are my toes so far. I'm about 4 stitches on each sock away from starting the foot. Almost done with the toe. So this one has a little bit of brown right there, and then a gray with flecks of red, and then a red tip, which is really cute. And this one is just red, but it's going into brown. So these are Knit Picks, size 1, and they are the pretty blue Caspian needles. It's not going to show up because they're so tiny, but it has a teal cord, and it's so fun. Oh, look, you can see back here. Nope, can't do it. Sorry, I'm a dirty liar. Piece of paper. No, not gonna work. Go to the Knit Pick site, you'll see what I'm talking about. They're teals and greens and blues, and they're gorgeous. They're needles. This is one of my handmade stitch markers. And so yeah, they're just coming along, and I've been knitting on them a little bit every day. And I'm having a really good time with it. So can't wait to see what colors come next. I'm hoping to knit on them more tonight because I'm a night owl. That's one of the reasons it's Owl Knit With You, because I will stay up all night and knit while I watch my podcasts and talk to you guys online. It happens nightly. So I'm excited about the progress that I'm making there. And yay, socks! This means that after I finish my purple sock, I will only have the sweater in progress that I'm working on, which is the guinea cardigan. I made a little bit of progress, but you really can't tell a difference unless you're me and you know exactly what you're looking for. So I'm not going to show it to you this week. And then the super cabley green sweater that I'm making that is going to be in after all these other projects are finished. The guinea cardigan that I'm working on is actually due at the end of the month, so I need to get my butt in gear on that one. And that's for the Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup. I met with a fiber friend this week that I hadn't met before, and she brought me a skein of yarn. That is the best way to say hello to a new friend ever, and I really wish I would have taken her something, but I hadn't thought about it. So she brought me this yarn. It is, I believe it's from her stash. I don't think she went out and bought me it, but it is called Daffodil. It is from Extravagant, it's from Our Humble Castle Yarns. And the Extravagant Sock Base. I'm trying to read this tag as I show it to you. It is 70% SW Merino and 30% silk. It is machine washed, tumble dry low. Colorway Daffodil, did I already say that? It was made in Canada and hand dyed in the USA. So it is so pretty. Look at all those yellows and greens. It just makes me want to be in the springtime. And since it's not a striping sock, but it is lovely variegatedly. It is 115 grams, 378 yards. And I'm hoping to make a pair of the Doctor socks that Cece from Geeky Girls Knit wrote the pattern for. I think they're called 10th Doctor socks. Not sure what they're called. My brother's talking in the other room. Sorry. But they have a really beautiful pattern up the leg, and I would love to knit that on this because this makes me think of Van Gogh a little bit. Van Gogh is the name I can never remember when I shoot a podcast. So that is very exciting. I also bought myself a little treat. So I've told you before, I'm a sucker for good marketing. If you have good marketing, I'm gonna buy your product if it applies to something that I want or need. So Crimson Orchid Designs makes row counting bracelets, and I was in the market for one just because I was looking to see what was out there. I might have even followed a Ravelry link. I click on those all the time. People who do Ravelry links or, you know, ads or whatever, good for you. I'm clicking on them. So I clicked on one of those. Sorry, I got distracted by my bracelet. Oh, shoot, giveaway. So I got a bracelet. And the reason I ended up getting it is because when I favorited her store, she sent me a coupon. She's like, hey, I saw you favorited my store. Here's a thing. You'll have to favorite her store and figure out what that thing is. She's not aware that I do a podcast, I don't think, so she does not know that I'm sending customers her way. So here's my super beautiful bracelet. It is a row counting bracelet. I'm not going to tell you how it's done because she doesn't tell you how it's done on the page, on the Etsy page. And she says instructions will be with your bracelet, so I don't know if that's a secret or if that's like a thing that needs to be kept secret, so I'm not going to tell you. Suffice to say, it does count up to 99 rows very well because you use the different bead colors like an abacus. And it has just, you can buy whole bead sets that have like the beads and a second set of color of beads and then matching stitch markers and a couple other matchy things. So it fits really nicely. And I play with it all the time when I'm wearing it. And I really like it. And it came in such a cute little organza bag. Oh, a cute little organza bag. So I have just been thrilled with it this week and having so much fun wearing it around, although I click it and clack it all the time. That's what I do. All the time. So, I told you guys I was trying to think of some segment names. And so in the future, here's what my segments might be called. So new fronds. The stuff that I'm spinning will be blobbins, because it's like bobbins. My works in progress will be called woes or woes instead of whips. So woes like that. Woes are woes. Because sometimes you're knitting stuff and you're like, whoa, this is going really well. Or sometimes you're like knitting stuff and you're like, I can't do this. This knitting is going to kill me. And I called my finished object foes. Because sometimes when you have finished knitting something, you feel like you have defeated a monster. Like, this is my version of a sword battle. I have knit all of this yarn into something that it wasn't when I started. It was a ball of yarn or a skein of yarn or a cone of yarn, and now it has become a hat, sweater, scarf, mittens, etc., socks, you know. So I feel like, you know, I've defeated it somehow. So foes. And then for things in my stash that are new, mustache. So, and then stuff at the beginning that I talk about my life, that would be blather. We're just blathering on with my lovely dainty lady friends and man friends out there. Oh yes, let's sip our tea and blather about knitting like it isn't even a thing. That's how I think of you guys. You're classy. You classy broads and gents out there. Keep on being so classy. So, I guess that about concludes our show. No, it doesn't, because we've got a number to draw. So I'm gonna go generate a random number for the first time on a podcast. Number generating is prepped. I have printed a list of all my peeps. About 2 pages. And that is the order in which you joined, not alphabetical order. So this way I don't have to go digging through Ravelry and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little squares. There are 72 members in the group right now. iPhone light is blue. Sorry. I'm a video person. Color bothers me. So I'm going to generate, I'll show you, between 1 and 72. generate. The result is 50. All right, number 50 is back page. Boop, 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 boop. Sorry. It is Bella Leah, who is Amber. Congrats on winning. Your prize options are a skein of yarn, a care package from me, or I will buy a pattern off your wish list that I choose. Probably close to the top of your queue. And the yarn that I send you will also be based off what's in the top, like 10 rows of your queue. If it's all sweaters, I'm not going to buy you a sweater for the yarn. I'm not that rich, and no one has sent me things to give as prizes. So, message me and tell me what you would like of those 3 options. You only get one of them. And for all of the rest of you out there, don't worry, I'm going to hold a whole lot more contests. So you will have plenty of opportunities to win all sorts of great things. And for any of you out there who are like, you know what? I'd like to give that chick some yarn so she can give it away on her podcast and talk about how awesome and squishy and wonderful smelling it is or something. Send me a PM and we can talk about stuff like that. So all of you out there in the internet land, it is late. I'm getting loopy. I hope you've had fun knitting with me. I know I've had fun knitting with you because I always knit with you. Good night.